You're probably not actually overwhelmed. You're likely just overbooked with things that really don't matter. Let's talk about the illusion of being busy. You probably already know what I mean when I say that, because those days are where you run nonstop, cross off hundreds of tiny things, answer every email, put out every fire, and go to bed feeling completely behind. That's not productivity. That's actually just running around with noise. We live in a culture that glorifies being busy. We've made exhaustion a badge of honor, but if we're being real, being busy doesn't mean you're being effective. It just means you've lost focus. Being busy is the easiest way to avoid what actually matters and convince yourself that you're doing the best that you can. Because when you're constantly in motion, you actually don't have to face the hard stuff, the strategic things, the deep work, the uncomfortable conversations, the decisions that will actually move the needle. You get the luxury of not doing any of those things, and you can tell yourself you're trying, and it's true. But what are you trying towards? Most people aren't overwhelmed because they've got too much of their passionate stuff going on. They're overwhelmed because they're doing too much of the wrong things, the things that really don't matter, the things that don't light them up, and the things that don't make any progress happen. I've been there too, filling entire days with just randomness, responding, reacting, reorganizing, and at the end of it, I would feel drained and dissatisfied. But busyness gave me the illusion of progress while quietly keeping me completely stuck where I was. And here's what I realized. When you're too busy, you don't have time to think. And when you don't have time to think, you lose the ability to see anything for what it really is. Clarity is not something that comes from the chaos of being busy. It actually comes from being still. And that's why slowing down feels so uncomfortable at first, because when you stop doing stuff, you finally have to face what's not working. Sitting in the silence is the hardest thing you'll ever do. But if you've been caught in that cycle of doing everything but getting nowhere, I do want you to pause and sit in silence and ask yourself, what am I doing just to feel productive? What am I avoiding by staying too busy? And what actually matters most right now? Asking yourself those 3 questions is super powerful, because being busy might make you look committed, but being focused will actually make you effective. So it's not necessarily about doing more stuff. It's actually about doing what matters with intention, consistency, and clarity, of course. So here's your challenge for this week. Audit your time. Look at your schedule, look at your energy, and be honest with yourself. How much of it is coming from movement and how much of it is actually coming from momentum? All right. The illusion of being busy makes you feel safe. I get it. But it also doesn't allow you to grow. So people who actually create impact aren't the ones doing the most. They're the ones doing the right things. All right. See you next time.